God bless those who have shared the link. God bless you. God bless those who have shared the link. God bless those who have shared the link. Psalm 34 verse number 4. I sought the Lord and he heard me. I sought the Lord and he heard me and delivered me from all my fears. They look up to him and were lightened. And their faces were not ashamed. Verse 6. This poor man cried, and the Lord heard him and saved him out of all his troubles. You see, he started from I saw. This is a man testifying. This is a testimony. It's a testimony. We are looking at somebody's testimony to also engage God. I sought the Lord, and he heard me and delivered me from all my fears. That means the man had fears. There was something he was afraid of. He knew something was coming after him. He was afraid, like the way somebody is afraid right now. There's somebody going for a checkup tomorrow is afraid because he said they should come and check whether heart is enlarging or heart is not working. There is a fear staring at people. There's somebody about to face a disciplinary committee. There's a fear staring. There's somebody going to court. It's a matter of prison. Fear is staring. And what the man did when fear confronted him, he didn't pray, he sought. There is quite a difference. He didn't say, I prayed to the Lord. I sought. I seek after the Lord. You see, there are people who can pray and not know the God they are praying for. Anytime the person says, I'm seeking the Lord, means that I'm not just interested in the prayer. I want to know who I'm praying to. That is why the Bible says that if you seek me with all your heart, it didn't say if you pray. If you seek, there is a realm of seeking. If you pray and it doesn't work, seek. Seek. Seeking goes beyond carelessly coming to pray. And sometimes when you are praying, you are sleeping, thinking that there is a God somewhere that may hear. No. The realm of seeking is when you have had substance about his nature and who he is. You have laid hold of it. And then you come before him and say, the reason why I didn't go anywhere is that I've sought after you and I have known you to be a healer. So I come before you with this lab report. It's not a normal prayer I've come to pray. I've come to consult who is able.
Who is able?
That's how the Bible says, if you seek me with all your heart, you will find me. So I'm not here to just ask you for money. I have sought and I have had my findings, and I've realized that there is a God who owns the gold and the silver, who controls the economic systems of this world. There is a God who could make Solomon rich just like that. There is a God who could make Abraham rich. I have sought after you and I have found your capabilities. I have found your abilities. So I have come to make inquiries. I have some fears that you can handle. He said, I sought the Lord and he heard me. In weeks like this, we seek after whom we have known. You run after whom you know. You cry out to whom you have made your findings and have known that he is a good God.
Oh yes.
You have known that he will not withhold good, and then you come after him.
Jesus.
When I call,
Come on.
He will answer.
My God.
When I call, he will answer. When I call, he will answer.
seeking after God is going beyond just praying carelessly. No. It's when you have evidences of what he can do before you go before him. He said, I know you, the one who have power over fire. I know you. You have power over lions to a point you close the mouth of a lion. I know you. I know you before presenting this case. I've come to seek after solutions to the one who is able. So he finished and said, they looked unto him. I have my evidence. I did my research before going after him, and I know what happened. He said, they looked. Some people I researched from, they looked unto him and they were enlightened, and their faces were not ashamed. I know some people, Kakasu Kakasa.
Jesus.
I know some people who looked at him. The reason why I started looking for him, I didn't just pray carelessly. I started to look for him. Is that I know some people who looked up to him, and when they were looking up to him, they were put to shame. Their faces were down. They were in tears. But as they looked up to him, their faces began to enlighten, and all their shame were wiped away. He said, I've done my research and I've found the people who knew you. So I've come to seek. And said, I sought him and he delivered me from my fear. So one of the evidence you should have in approaching God is that no matter the fear you have, God. Then he's coming to tell you what he did after he found God. He's coming to tell you in the verses. This poor man cried. Aida Kopanda Shah.
Jesus.
I shot him, and I had evidences of the people who looked up to him, and their faces were not ashamed. That's why we share testimonies. It's for you to confirm what you have researched, so that when you hear somebody's testimony, you will see that there's somebody who looked up to him and their faces were not put to shame. So David said, when I found some people who look up to him and I sought after him, then this poor man, I started to cry, because I had my research on how he hears prayers. He hears the prayers of the heart. So I started to cry. He said, and the Lord heard me and saved him out of all his troubles. This poor man. So this is the real me. Before he heard me, the real me was a poor man. The real me was a very poor man. So if you see me as a king today, don't judge me by my now. Go back and judge me from when I started crying to the Lord. He said, this poor man cried and the Lord heard him. Sir, there are some of you are not a poor man. You are just a little girl failing. So this girl failing in examination, cry. So tonight you are just going to pray, Lord, I have sought you and found you. I've sought you and found you. Now this girl that is failing exams, I'm crying. This young man with cancer, I'm crying. Tonight I cry to you, hear me and save me from my troubles. Am I hearing somebody else? I said this, don't also mention poor man. Mention your case.
Come on.
You will hear me.
Oh, you will hear.
Like you heard that poor man.
Yes.
You will hear me.
You will hear me.
I'm a young girl trying to marry, it's not coming. You will hear me.
You will hear me.
You will hear the cry
Hear the cry.
of this young man struggling with addiction. You will hear the
Yeah,
cry.
you will hear me.
This young boy who have worked and want to travel and they have chopped my money 5 times. You will hear me tonight. You will hear me. Answer me. He will answer. He will answer.
He will answer us.
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 He will answer. Listen, you are going to present your identity and tell him that, Lord, this one who has finished university and and looking for a job and can't find. He's crying tonight. He's crying tonight. This pastor whose ministry, I'm the pastor whose ministry is not going the way it should. I'm crying to you tonight. This poor man, this rejected man, this mocked girl. I'm the one crying. You must hear me out. You must hear me out. And I'm about 5 minutes. Jamugu eradieni. Eradiweti mashisha. Mashisha on my home. Mishisha who no. But who said the order of share will be an animal was. To hear need to say me maba. Ya refort to say me maba. Ya miame ya pa me to say me maba. Be an wash shell.
Oh Jesus.
To force a mashisha na me home. Not is a senior dianeso. Me mama ni so kosha. Oh nyamye kwama. Oku no. Juda mubusu akuomu chata. Ye David Monina. Ye kunimno. Ose atadinyo. Nani 97. Oso butie. Mumu ebrema hwehwe awrade. Wenyum to ni so no hu no. Ani 3 nwi kusunyu. Me hu no ya yaresafo. Me hu no ya obi a omani padi. Me hu no ya bambofo. Sanya obi hu no describe say no say also describe. He said I sought the Lord. How you saw him will determine how you cry. How you saw him will determine how you cry. He said also who ni wie no. This poor man cried. Some of you have finished seeking God, now cry. What you found, cry to what you found. Cry to what you found. David cried to what he found, and the Lord glorified him.